What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, it is now the very beginning of August, which means it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the profitability of our farm, what we're actually making per month, and then what our projected profits are for the entire year. I've started doing this every month, and it's actually turned out really nice. We've been able to see what we make on each rig regarding Etherum or what we're making on Ravencoin, as well as with our power consumption and our electricity cost. So traditionally, I did some estimates within HIVEOS on power usage, and I decided to get a little more accurate. So we have a spare available Space Goats and 240 volt 30 amp plug here that you guys can see, and we do have a extra PDU set up to it. So what I'm thinking and where my head is at is I'm going to go ahead, power down each rig, plug it into our separate PDU, and write down the readings on the actual AC monitor for exactly what that's using when it's hashing. So give me a few minutes, we'll go ahead and get each one plugged in. I'll write down those numbers, and then I'll meet you guys over on the computer, and we'll go ahead and start to break down where we stand for July 2021. Okay, so I thought I might as well film this and show you guys. So first up is our Colossus rig. The Colossus rig is made up of 11 Sapphire Nitro RX 470s. They are BIOS modded with the Polaris one-click BIOS editor. We also do have one RX 570. These are all 4 gig cards. With these, we are running one HP 1200 watt power supply, a second HP 1200 watt power supply, and then a third HP 750 watt power supply. We're running the B250 mining motherboard with a 750 watt, this is a 650 watt EVGA G5 power supply. Now, this is complete overkill. It's literally just powering the motherboard, so keep that in mind. All of our risers and all of our cards are powered by our HP server power supplies. Now, you may be wondering why so much power coming out of all these server power supplies. So I don't like to run the server power supplies at full bore, screaming at a super loud and putting off a ridiculous amount of heat. I'm going for longevity here, so for the extra few dollars, I'd rather be going ahead and running these at 80 or less percentage for the power. So that being said, I unplugged them all from this PDU, and as you can see, they're plugged in on both sides of this PDU. If you guys are interested, this PDU and all the cables will be down below in the description. You'll see a link to a Google document called the Hobbyist Miner Parts List. You'll find all of this stuff down there. So these should be up and running about now. Let's go ahead and journey into our other room. And we can see here that rig alone, now it is mining Ravencoin. That rig alone is running 2,140 watts just on that Colossus rig. So that's actually pretty accurate when we talked about having 220 watt power supplies, and we also talked about having the one 750 watt HP power supply. And I can actually hear those turning up here. So Ravencoin on the Colossus rig, we're actually bumping this up here. We're gonna put that at 2150. So I'm gonna go ahead and note that down. And then we're gonna go ahead and swap over to our next rig, which is gonna be this rig right down here. Okay, so up now is our Pixie rig, is what I call this. This rig is running an HP 1200 watt server power supply. We have a 750 watt Aries Game power supply. Now the Aries Game is powering just the motherboard. I had these available, so I thought I'd use them. I could get by with like 300 watts, in all honesty, just powering the motherboard. So the 1200 watt HP server power supply is powering all of the GPUs and also the GPU risers. The GPUs are all R9 380s and R9 380Xs. This rig is mining all Etherum Classic. We are running on an HP motherboard, as well as you guys can see we're running the PCI splitters, the 1 to 4 PCI splitters there. So this one is actually one of my newer rigs. I built this within the last month and a half or so, and you can see I actually built it into this wood frame down here that I built. It's like a piece of plywood, but it's got like a rubber, it's actually like a toolbox liner that we glued to it, and then all of our parts are actually mounted to it with aluminum angled frame, as well as our solid state drive in the back is mounted. Well, it's hard to see there with the aluminum angled frame. You can see it here. Look, I'm using it there too, the aluminum angled. So that said and done, this one should be up and running now. Let's go ahead and take a look in the other room and see what we're getting for Etherum Classic. So this one right now is running at 800 watts total for the entire thing. And this is Etherum Classic with our 6 R9 380s, and there's a few R9 380Xs sprinkled in there. I'm gonna give this another minute or so and I'll see if this changes. If not, I'll go ahead and record this and we'll bump on to our next rig. Okay, so I thought a good way to make sure that everything's up and running before we go ahead and record our numbers is to bring up HIVEOS on my phone. And so yeah, we're up and mining right now, Etherum Classic, and we're getting 118 mega hash currently right now. And we are at, looks like we spiked at 80 or 82, or I'm sorry, 800, wow. 820 is what we were at the high. So we're gonna record this as 815 for this rig. So let's jump on to our next one. Okay, we are on to our Cyclops, or we call it Cyclops because we have the one white card. The whole group, as you guys know, I name all of my rigs off of X-Men. So looking at this, you guys can see we have one HP server power supply, 1200 watts. We have a second one here, 1200 watts. And then we have the 750 watt Ares game. So this is running off of an H110 Pro mining motherboard there. And to go through our cards, we have 6 1060, 6 gig cards. We have a 1080, a 3060, a 1080, a, what's this guy? 2060 Founders Edition, and a 1080 Founders Edition. So that should give you guys a pretty good idea as to what we're running here. Let's go ahead and break down exactly what algorithms we're running. Okay, so my camera actually started running out of battery. I don't know, I swore I charged it. And so it literally had a countdown on the screen, so I was entirely distracted. But let's go over the GPUs in this rig. So we talked about the 1060s, they're mining Etherum. We then have our 1080 mining Etherum. Our 3060 is actually mining Ergo right now, just to get some diversification of what we're mining. Our another 1080 is mining Etherum. Our 2060 is mining Etherum, and our finally 1080 is mining Etherum. So let's go ahead and see what our Cyclops rig does from a power consumption perspective. It is mining right now. Okay, so this rig is 11 GPUs, mostly mining Etherum, which is significantly more power efficient, and Ergo than Ravencoin, and we're at 1,200 and, let's see, I saw a 90 there. So we're gonna go 1,287, I think, because we were kind of like in the middle, and 1,285, that's what we'll go with this rig. Okay, so our final rig here is our Gambit rig. We're running the 1200, I'm sorry, this is a 750 watt HP power supply with a smaller breakout board there. We are also running the RebTech motherboard, all-in-one solution with 3 GPUs, all 580s. We have 2 XFX 588 gigs, and finally a Sapphire Pulse RX 580 as well. So this rig here, as I've talked about in the past, is my favorite rig as of right now, just because of how clean the cable management is and how wonderful the RebTech board works out. So let's jump into the other room. We'll bring up on my phone here. Okay, so we are mining right now. And let's see here. We are at 97.09 mega hash for those three. And look at that, 475, 80. We're gonna go 390. Okay, we're gonna go 480 based off of a few spikes there. So we're gonna go with 480. So now that we've gotten the power consumption for each of our rigs at the wall, let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and start doing some calculations. Alrighty guys, so we took all the information regarding our power consumption, we threw it into a spreadsheet. And if you guys remember, this is the same spreadsheet we used for May and for June. So to jump back in May, our profitability per year, if we stayed with May for 12 months, was $14,450.40. Jumping to June, we actually took quite a dip because of the market, down to $10,317.60. So now let's go ahead and talk about July. So July is at the bottom. The spreadsheet's available at the bottom if you guys want to follow along. There's the link. July is all in the light blue, the cyan color. And here you can see, here is all of our Colossus rig, which has the 470s and the 1570. Our Gambit rig has the 580. Our Pixie rig, the 380s with the 2 380Xs. And our Cyclops rig, finally, the 1060s, the 3060, 2060, and the 1080s. So on a rig level, our Colossus rig is putting out 169 mega hash for Raven coin, and the wattage average that we figured out with the plug at the wall was 2,150. God, Raven coin uses so much wattage. On our Cyclops rig, we're mining Ergo at 78.69 mega hash, and we're mining Ethereum at 256.29. That puts us at 1,287 watts. On our Gambit rig, we are mining at our 97.06 Ethereum, and that is at 480 watts. And finally, our Pixie rig is mining 118.6 Ethereum Classic at 815 watts. So let's jump over to kind of our breakdown. So to show you guys how I did this so that you guys can follow along, I left the Colossus rig blank. So to figure out your calculations, we have 169 mega hash for Raven coin, and we are at 2150 watts. So what I need to do is I need to come over to what to mine. And the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and input in for Capal what I'm running. So 169 for Capal for our hash rate, and 2150 for our watts. Now, the most important thing is you guys do have to put in the cost for your electricity. This can be found on your electric bill, and we'll hit calculate. Okay, so coming down here to Raven coin, we're going to select Raven coin, and this is where we're going to pull our numbers. So revenue right now before electricity is $19.65. So I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet and put $19.65. My electricity cost per day, $3.78. $3.78. So that determines our profits per day are $15.87. So that's telling you guys per month off of my Colossus rig mining Raven coin, I'm making $476.10. Now that is based off of a 30-day month period. Now jumping per year, we're going to go ahead and now actually adjust this calculation because I want to go my per day profits times 365. Okay, so per year, that rig is making me $5,792.55. Pretty dang good. Now let's talk about our Gambit rig. Our Gambit rig per day is making us $7.70. The Gambit rig's the 580 rig. $6.76 minus 84 cents. That's crazy. 84 cents for electricity. And that returns us with a profit of $5.92. Based off of a 30-day month, that gives us a total of $177.60. So let's go ahead and do our day profits times 365. So that rig right now is netting us $2,160.80. Jumping onto our Cyclops rig. So this one is a little bit different because I have 11 total cards, only one is on Ergo. So to get an estimate, I took my total power consumption, which was 1,287, divided it by 11, and that gave me my per GPU power usage. Now, this is an estimate, so I'm not too concerned about it here. At the end of the day, it ends up working out for our total calculations, but this was for an estimate. So ergo, our hash rate 78.69. That goes ahead and only gives us a profit of $1.59. Minus our electricity cost is 21 cents. That goes ahead and provides us a profit per day. Oh, I just went ahead and deleted that field. There we go. Of $1.38. Now, you may be asking me, why am I mining ergo on a 3060? So, I am mining ergo on my 3060 to diversify. Now, I understand I'm running into some issues because, yes, I do run into the LHR, that does exist on ergo, as well as, of course, Ethereum. Usually this card sits at about 100 mega hash and then will dip down to like 78 and such. I want to diversify my portfolio. So for right now, this lone wolf, I'm mining ergo on. So that being said, on a 30-day month, I'm only making $41.40. So then I need to take that times 365 for my year, and I'm making $503.70 on there. From the Ethereum side of things on the Cyclops rig, I am right now, my revenue is $17.80 minus $2.05 for electricity. That gives me $15.75 per day, and at a 30-month average, $472.50. So let's go ahead and take our per day times 365, and we are making $5,748.75. Rounding things out on our Pixie rig, mining Ethereum Classic. Right now, per day, we're making $5.28. Our electricity cost is $1.43, giving us a daily profit of $3.85. Per month on a 30-day average, that's $115.50. Let's go ahead and determine what we're making per year. So we're going to do 385 times 365, and that's going to net us $1,405.25. So our total mining profit per year, if everything stays the way that July is right now, and this is really getting down to the nitty-gritty on electric cost. In my previous months, my electric costs were I decided to do them off of HIVEOS and what HIVEOS provided me, versus this month we are actually doing at the wall, which is the most accurate. So for June and May, they were estimates because of electricity that a lot of people write off, but really shouldn't. And for July, we are getting true profits of I didn't do that correct. Let's do here. Plus here, plus here, plus here, plus here. Okay, that looks much better. Oh my gosh, I was like 9,000. I was like, my brain just like flatlined. So right now in our current setup with electricity costs taking out, we are right now at a profit of $15,611.05. So if we go over to our yearly profit projections, we can go ahead and input that in here. Now, we have increased our rigs significant, our amount of GPUs. Sorry about that. I need to hit equal and go to here and go to here. Okay, perfect. So this is kind of my way of looking at how the year is trending. Now, I need to keep on reiterating, May and June were estimates because I wasn't plugging into the wall and getting a true wattage per rig. I was using HIVEOS, which is not a great estimate. Now we're starting in July, and I'm going to put a little asterisk here at the wall. Let's see. Started power recordings at the wall. Okay, which that is very important. These are going to be HIVEOS estimate and HIVEOS estimate for power consumption notes. Okay, so that should give us and show us that we started out in May doing this kind of recording of our profits. Even though we started mining in February, I really wish I would have just started this in February. And we started in May and bumping up to now in July. We can see that in June we took a dip, which, remember where we were back in June. And in July we kind of came on our upswing here. So now moving forward, we'll be able to continue to do this as we bump into August. And I like to do this directly after the month to give us a full month of data and to go ahead and see where we're at. We definitely are going to be increasing our cards. I have a number of cards on order right now that will be adding to the Cyclops rig. I have some cards on order that are in the mail that are going to be adding to my Gambit rig. So we'll really see where we're at moving forward. But guys, this was supposed to be short, but now is a lengthier video on where we stand for July for our crypto mining profitability. It drug on significantly longer than I wanted, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there till the end. Please let me know where you guys are sitting. Leave a comment down below. You know, was this helpful? Did this give you some more insight? If it did, I'd love to really hear what your what your hash rate is and what your rig is consuming, and what's your monthly profits now, and then also what does that look like per year. So right now, if we stay exactly the way we are right now, we will be bringing in a profit of $15,611.05. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.